Tell me about Burning Man. How did you manage to turn it into a global movement and to create such a huge network all around the world?
Well, Burning Man, the organization really sets up the stage in Black Rock City for people to come into it, and they bring everything they need to survive, and they bring their art and their creativity, and the experience of being so creative around other people just moved itself. People would leave and they would contact us and they would say, how can I find other people in my part of the world? And it's not just in America, it's happening in over 40 countries around the world. And they come and ask us, can you help me? Can you help me do art? Can you help me do an event? And so we've created a leadership program so that people can stimulate art and creativity in their own communities. And it just keeps happening on its own. We're stimulating it a little bit, but really the feeling you get from Burning Man, it keeps going and going and going.
What are the biggest challenges facing Burning Man today?
I would say the biggest challenges are that for us making Burning Man happen in the Black Rock Desert, the biggest challenge is teaching the government what we're about. Because our principles and our framework are a little bit different than most organizations, how they function. So for instance, we don't have any trash cans at Burning Man. Well, when local governments hear that, they are horrified and they want large bins and dumpsters to make the refuse go away. And we have to teach why we know that the participants will take away all of their trash. And also, as you probably know, governments are very worried when big groups of people gather together. And whether it's in Romania, or it's in London, or it's in Japan, or it's in the United States, and you need permits, and then they want to know what you're doing, and is it a parade, or is it a party? And so Burning Man is not a normal festival. And so we spend a lot of time really explaining what it is and what the results are, so that we can do it differently. So we can not just be like a normal festival.
I see. Why did you choose to turn Burning Man into a non-profit?
Well, it was a lot of fun when it was a for-profit, but we never really made a lot of money. And the intention for it was to stay on beyond our lifetime. So we really didn't think it made much sense to have ownership. But the best part of ownership is we could do it quickly and we could do it our way. Being a nonprofit means that we are beholden to the participants that come to Burning Man and to the government that gives us our nonprofit status. And so it was important for the long-term survival of the culture and the ethos for it to become a nonprofit.
See, we write for entrepreneurs from here in Romania. What should they learn from your lesson, and what should they learn from your strategy of building Burning Man?
Sure. Well, the interesting thing is there are a lot of innovators that come to Burning Man. People like Elon Musk and the founders of Google, and many other entrepreneurs on even smaller level. And what they always say is that Burning Man inspires them to be creative. And they come each year, year after year, because they get new ideas. When you're at Burning Man and you don't have transactions and you don't buy your beer, but you might get it as a gift, it takes away your inhibitions. And so you think more freely and you think more creatively. And so I would give advice to entrepreneurs that the best thing they can do is create an environment for themselves and for others that inspire them to be creative, inspire other people to be creative. And then the last part would be, I think that the principles and the framework that we have from the beginning of Burning Man and that we then wrote down in the middle are really important. It gives people a space in which they understand what's expected of them. So the principles of engaging with each other and treating each other right. I think maybe Facebook could have used that kind of value of now instead of drifting away from community and connectivity, it's important not to be mean to each other and to go after each other, but to work together. And so I think any entrepreneur that's building a product or an organization would really want to think about what do they expect from each other, but what do they expect from the people that might use the product and about their behavior towards one another. I think that's really important.